All right, y'all. Welcome back to another Thoughts from the Backyard Thursdays. My name is Andre, still your host, if you will. I'm the only guy here, but I'll say I'm the host of this thing. If you're new here to the backyard, Thoughts from the Backyard Thursdays. First of all, I am a craft manufacturer in the Philadelphia area, and I create all types of home and living items from scrap materials, from scrap wood, scrap metal. Right behind me we have our bottle openers. If you head over to metalwoodcrafts.com, you can find our bottle openers. These are the bottle openers of the Driven. They're made from timing chain out of an engine. Now, with the business stuff out of the way, I over the years have realized that working with my hands, I've been an automotive technician for 15 years. I got into welding and I make stuff, obviously, like I just said. Over the years, I've come across a lot of cool thoughts, a lot of cool ideas, a lot of things that just run through my mind as I'm working with my hands. There's some type of, spiritual, mental connection. I don't know what you want to call it. And I decided to start sharing these thoughts and ideas, feelings. They range from things happening in the world to sports to my kids to whatever. And so this is episode 3 of this series that we are working on staying consistent with, because as we get to know each other, I'm a man working and building myself, as you will see, and consistency is one of those things that I'm working on. So I like to just kind of hop into these topics. That's the introduction and preface. I'll probably do it every episode just in case I get some new people checking it out. But let's get right into it. So the topic I want to talk about that has been running through my mind really for a very, very, very long time is really based around the rise of the influencer. And so again, I said I've been in business. I've been an automotive technician for 15 years. Me and my father, we own the auto repair shop named Master's Touch Auto Repair. So I've been a business owner for some years. And the first part of my business journey, I was very young. I was just kind of following my father. And then I got into a stage where I was just trying to figure business out on my own, get some more knowledge. And now I'm a bit more, at this stage in my life, I'm a bit more business conscious. And so, but one thing I can say is I've always been afraid to make these type of videos because I didn't feel like I knew enough. I don't know all the fancy words that, business people should know, I guess, or whatever the case was. But I've always had a love for business, a love for entrepreneurship, and really respected it. So the one thing I've noticed with the rise of the influencer was what I call fast business. And fast business is very relatable to fast fashion. I actually took some notes so that way I don't forget and start rambling. I am a rambler. If you're new here, I say it all the time. I am a rambler. The goal is to get in and out of these videos, so we should be at 12 minutes tops. That's the goal. But fast business, that's what we're talking about today, if I did not say that. So fast business to me has a lot of similarities to fast fashion. Some of the similarities being, sorry, I just dropped my book. Some of those similarities being very trendy. Fast fashion is a very trendy thing, as we know that trends die. But that's a lot of what fast fashion is built on. There's very little transparency with fast fashion. Is kind of more so about production, what we can get out, what we can push and market really well to sell. Both fast fashion and in my research, fast business, it promotes a lot of scarcity. And, it's very related to a topic, actually the actual term probably for this is exploitation business. And fast business promotes a lot of, just like fast fashion, it pushes or oversteps a lot of ethical boundaries. So I've seen in the last couple years, really the last couple years, but last 10 years, but more so, even more heavily, because I'm starting to see a lot of bigger names of people that are starting to get in trouble for like fraud, and they're starting to get in trouble for running Ponzi schemes and things like that. And some of these people were known as like the pioneers of, when you're on Instagram or social media and the guy's like, hey, or the person's like, hey, buy my course. And, if you want to learn how to make money fast, buy my course. If you want to, but not all, but what we're finding is a lot of these people are getting in trouble for some type of fraud for not doing something the correct way. Now, I'm not here to judge them. I don't know their heart. I do think that some of them might have been trying to do business the legitimate way or do something the legitimate way, and things went south, because that does happen, and that's okay. I'm not here to judge, but what I will say, what I want to talk about is to you, the small business owner, the entrepreneur, about this. There's a lot of things that we have to look out for. I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes. That's why I keep scratching myself. Just killed that one. But there's a lot of things that we have to watch out for as business owners and entrepreneurs, because there's a lot of things that are being promoted out here as fast paced, fast this, fast that, tomorrow, and that's very dangerous. A lot of these things that are promoted as such, they're meant to kind of prey on desperate people, and oftentimes that is their audience. All of us would love to make $1 million in a month. All of us would love to make $100,000 in 2 days. All of us would love to do that. But the truth of the matter is, that's not how wealth works. That's not how anything that is in my opinion, anything that's grounded in a strong foundation takes time. And I'm not saying that some of these things don't work, but there's clearly something going on if a lot of these people that we're seeing that are promoting this stuff are getting in trouble for some type of fraud. There's something going on. The reason why I think a lot of us fall for some of this stuff is FOMO, the fear of missing out, right? Someone says, hey, if you do this, or you need to be doing this because everybody else is doing it. Well, that's not really a good business strategy. That's not really a sustainable business model or business strategy at all. And we have to kind of be aware of this stuff. There's a lot of with fast business, there's a lot of great sales pitches that give you a big dollar and they tell you tomorrow. They give you a big dollar, or, hey, look at me and my Mercedes, and look at this and that, and I did that by doing this, or, whatever the case is. But oftentimes there's a dark side of that story that's not being told, and it sucks us in, and I'm here for one. As an artisan, a lot of what I do is I'm a low and slow type of person anyway, and I've tried to push myself to be so fast paced and so with certain things in my life that it's actually what I'm beginning to realize is that speed, the term is speed kills, and speed does ruin a lot. There's just times where you're just moving too fast. You don't get to smell the flowers. You don't get to look at the pretty trees. And with fast business, there's a lot of things that can happen that you can get in, but you can't. It's very hard to get out of. So again, one of the biggest things that we fall for, again, is desperation, the fear of missing out. There's a plethora of other reasons why we really fall for these things. But I mean, there's a lot of red flags that we can spot. Again, big promises. When something is being presented to you, whether it be on social media or in person, big promises and big returns with short dates, that's something to be weary of. A lot of the stuff that's out here, we have so many resources now at our fingertips that we are able to actually test people's theories and what they're telling to us. And one key word that I would like to use is know the metrics that these things that are being promoted to you, know what their metrics are. They can say we have the best tea in the world, but by whose metrics? Is it by, did your grandmom just say you had the best tea in the world, or can this be proven? Because the reason why that's important is because if it's only they're going by some other thing that's never been heard of, well, the reason why they're doing that is because they're trying to get ahead fast, and they set up their own thing, and but if they put it to the test of established testing systems, you would see that, this would fail. So definitely there's a lot of metrics to go by. There's a lot of metrics that these fast business companies and these fast business people will use that really, if you research them, they aren't really reputable. I would say as a business owner, one of the ways and one of the things really that we can kind of fight against this is, and one of my favorite quotes, I forgot the philosopher that says this, know thyself. And what that means is know where you want to take your business, know where you're trying to go, know what you're trying to do within the next few years, and anything outside of that is just distraction. Warren Buffett is someone that I look up to a lot because he'll tell you he's missed out on a lot of great stocks because he didn't have the fear of missing out. But at the same time, he's also built, for one, he's built a lot of his wealth later in life with systems. And secondly, he doesn't seem to be in a rush to the next big thing. And that's what a lot of these, I'm not just going to call it influencers, but a lot of these fast business things are the next big thing, the next big thing, the next big thing. And really by the time you're a part of it, that whatever that thing was, the trend is far, it's gone. So now it's on to the next thing, and you have to be able to catch that train. So it's really just kind of like keeping you hooked. Another thing I would say as a business owner, just like I was just saying about Warren Buffett, is having your own system and knowing and having your own timeline. In today's world, just everything is fast. Everything is fast, and it seems like by the time you get something else down packed, something new comes out. Well, just because something new comes out doesn't mean that we really have to hop onto that trend or hop onto that thing. You know what I mean? All we have to do is kind of know what we're trying to do, know our pace, know our pace, and run our race. You know what I mean? I don't think any of what I'm saying is like rocket science, but unfortunately, when I'm reading some of these articles about how people are falling victim to these predatory businesses, these predatory marketing systems, these predatory influencers, and things like that, you often wonder, well, why is this happening? And why, with all the information and knowledge that we have today and the history of people being scammed in this country, why is it still happening? And again, a lot of it is people are preying on people, desperate people. They're preying on people that they know, that they're preying on the people that they're creating a sense of fear and, causing you to think that you have to do this thing. And I would say to any entrepreneur out there, any business owner, stay steadfast in what you're doing. Stay steadfast in your systems. If you don't have systems, maybe this is a time that you realize, I've been running around trying to do all these things, trying to, follow these. Create your own system. Maybe take the time to see what your business really needs. Again, do your best. When a red flag is a red flag, whether it really is a red flag or not. When you see a red flag, you got to believe it, or at least take heed to it and explore it a little bit more. It's not. It's time for you and myself as well to kind of start standing up. I won't say start standing up against fast business. That sounds kind of corny, but like to take a stand back and realize what it is that we're after on our own journeys. And I mean, this can be from business to whatever the spiritual world out there. They can also all be translated to that. Like you have to know what you're after, what you're trying to do, and what it is where you're going. And if you don't right now, that's fine. But take some time, figure it out, and do that. But just don't hop on to the next thing. I would encourage you to, again, whatever you do plan on being a part of, do your due diligence, do your research, read up on the whether it be a business or a program or something, read up on it, see what the reviews are, and go from there before you actually make a commitment. Now, like I said, I rambled for 13 minutes, about to be 14 minutes. So again, I'm going to end this with, beware of fast business. Beware of speedy situations coming to you. Be diligent, be vigilant, and listen, keep swinging the hammer.